Okay, so there are transformations of graphs. Remember, whatever you do on the outside is vertical, whatever you do on the inside is horizontal. So now inside refers to, with the exponent, outside refers to the big numbers. So let's say I did this, y equals 3 to the x plus 1. What do you think this plus 1 does? It moves all the points where?
To the right. Or it's up 1.
Moves everything up 1. Good. If I had this, y equals 3x plus 1, so in the exponent, what does this plus 1 do?
Oh, it's not. It's the right one.
Moves close, not to the right one, but left one. Moves all left one. Okay, if I put a negative on the outside, what does that negative do?
Make it a negative graph.
Well, it flips it. No, it doesn't shrink it. It flips it. Is it going to flip it up and down or left to right?
Up and down.
Flips up and down. So it makes all y's negative. And if it was here, what does the negative do? Instead of flipping it up and down, what does it do? Flips it side to side. Good. And it makes the x's negative. So we're going to do an example with the points that we have, where you have to adjust things and change them. You need this up? Sure. Okay, so let's do an example where we're going to do more than one thing here. So our example, let's say, is y equals 1 minus 3 to the x plus 2. So the first thing I want to do is write it so that this part comes first, so that I kind of understand what it's doing. So I put the plus 1 on the back. So I'm going to work from left to right and just write down what it does. So what does the negative in the front do? Flips up and down. And we said it makes y negative, makes all y's negative, right? What does the plus 2 do? Moves left or right? Left. 2. How do we get that? We say x plus 2 equals 0, and you solve x equals negative 2, so that would move it left 2. Okay, and then what does the plus 1 do?
Right 1. Or up 1.
Up 1. So I'm going to take the points that I had, which were negative 1, 1/3, negative 2, 1/9, 0, 1, 1/3, and 2/9, and I'm going to move them. I'm going to make the movements that it said to make. So the first thing I do is make all the y's negative. So negative 1, negative 1/3, negative 2, negative 1/9, 0, negative 1, 1, negative 3, 2, negative 9. The original graph, before you shift it, always passes through 0, 1. But once you shift them, they don't pass through 0, 1 anymore. Okay? So now I made all the y's negative. Now I'm going to move them left 2. How do I move something left 2? I do something to the x. What do I do to the x values? Subtract 2 from the x values. So subtract 2 from all the x values. So that's negative 3, negative 1/3, negative 4, negative 1/9, negative 2, negative 1, 1, negative 3, 0, negative 9. And the last thing it says move up 1, so what does that mean? I do. Add 1 to all the y's. Good.
Wait.
Yes?
Wouldn't 1 minus 2 be negative 1?
Thank you. Good job.
Nothing gets
So negative 4, 8/9, negative 2, 0, negative 1, 2, 0, 8. Yeah.
We should just put a point of like a -1, 1/3.
So remember how I just did 3 to the x? I just graphed 3 to the x right here. I got those points from the points that I started with. So now what I'm doing is taking this graph and shifting it. How I know it's this graph? It's because 3 to the x is the parent graph, what we call the parent graph. Okay, so then I just plot the new points that I have.
Do you have to do it that way, or can you just do it like plugging in numbers again?
You should be doing it this way, where you know how to move it. So negative 3, up 2/3, negative 4, 8/9. That would be here. Negative 2, 0, negative 1, 2, that doesn't seem right. 0, 8. So I must have made a mistake with these. Oh no. Negative, did I make a mistake? Negative 3, 2/3.
Well, negative 3 plus 1 would be negative 2. The other one.
Here,
The fourth one. Fourth right.
negative 3 plus 1
Yeah.
would be negative 2, thank you. And this is negative 8. There we go. So negative 2, and then 2, 4, 6, 8. So here's my graph. Now instead of 0 being my asymptote, what do you think my asymptote's going to be? Where does it look like it's going? This is going up to infinity? I'm getting 2/3, I'm getting 8/9. What's it getting closer to? 1. My asymptote is now 1. In the original equation, what was 1 represented as? Plus 1, it was represented as the vertical up or down. That would make sense then, right? Because if my thing was 0, it moves up 1. So now it's up to 1.
So that means it'll never touch 1?
So that means it'll never touch 1. So your asymptote is always going to be
What it can never touch.
your vertical shift. But you're right, it's going to be what it will never touch, but it will be your vertical shift. Because it starts at 0, so if you move it up 1, then it'll shift up 1. If you moved it down 3, then it'll move down 3, so it'd be y equals -3.